is, do y'all see X's and O's? I see X's and O's here, okay? That's what I see, X's and O's. So that's hugs and kisses, right? We was taught hugs and kisses, that's love, right? Okay, so in my opinion, the X's and O's develop this brain correctly. This brain is not developed correctly. So your frontal lobe is what's gonna do your decision making. That's how you get information, how you perceive information. It's how you know what I'm saying? It's how you basically are as a person. This is how you present yourself to the world. It comes from your frontal lobe. Your back of your brain developed first though. So if you in a trauma state as a child, say for instance, I'm 6 months old and my mother is in an abusive relationship and I'm always in the other room in my crib, my mama don't think I'm getting affected by it because I'm in my room, in my crib. This is my brain. This is my brain. This is the way my brain is developed. A 6-month-old child who got the father or whoever at home and there are no traumatic experiences. There is no abuse. There is none of those type of things. This is how theirs is developing. So automatically in childhood, you start off behind everybody else when you are experiencing abuse. Okay? Just so you know. So it's not you fucked up. It's not you made the wrong decisions. Your brain was not allowed to develop the way that it needed to be so that you could make the proper decisions. That's how you got into your abuse situation. Okay? And this ain't my opinion. This is science. Okay? The next thing I want y'all to see is, look at this right here. Well, no. After the things, we'll do this. What is domestic violence? I keep forgetting this thing. It's very much so touchscreen. Can y'all see that? A pattern of behavior that is used to gain or maintain power and control over an intimate partner, family member, or roommate. That means that your co-worker cannot give domestic violence against you. That's assault. If it's not in that group of people, it is not domestic violence. Okay? I want to show y'all what the power and control wheel looks like since that slide just told you. I'm mad as hell. This thing gonna update. Okay, that ain't it. That's the next thing. Power and control. Actually, let's start here. So back to that brain. Check this out. This shit is crazy. It's gonna teach you how to be a whole lot softer with yourself and other people who experience this kind of thing. So I'm gonna again make it bigger. I'm gonna read it to y'all. Prenatal. This is before you in your mama belly. You ain't even here yet. So what the fuck can be happening physical to you is poor nutrition, physical violence, increased miscarriages, okay? Emotional, they're not human yet, so they don't have any emotional aspects, they don't have any behavioral aspects. One of y'all said that abuse is not just physical, it's mental, it's da-da-da-da. So this is what that looks like in development. As a prenatal person, is increased miscarriages, low birth weights, okay? Birth to 2 years, it shows up in low weight, digestive problems, no appetite. Emotionally, it shows up as an irritable, sad, and anxiety. Imagine them kids when y'all see them in the store and they just acting a goddamn fool. Okay? Or that baby, that's a crying ass baby. Or, you know what I'm saying? Okay? Behavior wise, sleeping problems. They startle easily, cry excessively, and scream excessively. They basically don't know how to regulate their feelings. They anything they feel, whether it's hungry, sad, whatever it is, they're gonna cry or scream or something. We all know that's not a normal child. So what that causes, failure to thrive. This is only 2 years old. This birth to 2 alone. Okay? 2 to 6 years. Lack of bowel control. Lack of bladder control. Stomach aches. How many times have y'all seen little kids in y'all family's stomach always hurting? Peeing in the bed, all of this kind of thing. Okay, what it emotionally shows up in the child as is fear, anxiety, guilt, feeling responsible for the abuse, that is, separation anxiety, lack self-confidence, and self-centered. So, how would it show up behaviorally? They're acting out. They're aggressive. They mimic the other parent, the abuser. Okay, verbally abusive, defiant, withdrawn, clingy, whining, all of those things. What it looks like developmental, they got poor verbal skills. They quiet and don't really talk. They don't got good cognitive skills. Poor motor skills. They're not developing as a human correctly. based on this trauma they're experiencing. Okay, that's just 6 years old. 7 to 12, we got the bedwetting. Again, stomach aches. We notice that some of them progress and stay the same throughout the ages. It go with the age. Okay, so we got the bedwetting, stomach aches. You got low self-esteem. More so just in love with the abuser. You know what I mean? That's the parent I prefer more. Things like that. It looks like they got what it looks like behavior-wise in the classroom, in the home, at birthday parties, at the park, when they playing ball with their friends. It looks like them having poor grades. They basically don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school today, you know, things like that. Learning disabilities and poor peer relationships. They don't make friends. Now we going to 12 to 18. I feel like 12 to 18 more so, absolutely, of course, would be something that we could look at as how it shows up in us as well, because they basically say 18 to 24 is the highest age group of people who experience domestic violence. So how they get there is, again, we still bedwetting. We still got stomach aches, headaches, acne, and eating disorders. Some of these things can be attributed to real life. We already know that teenagers have acne. You know what I'm saying? We all know that young girls, when they teenagers, they cycle start, so their stomach start acting a little different. They may have the stomach aches and things like that. So just be more mindful of those kind of things. Like excessive of those kind of things is more of an alarm versus that thing itself, okay? And then it just looks like poor school performance, again, the same thing coming over and over and over again. So just be a little bit more gentle with some of these kids y'all seeing. I know a lot of families are very much so, what happens in our home stays in our home, and the number one thing that gets a person out of a domestic violence situation or to be healing from a traumatic experience is an adult, a positive adult image. That's the number one thing that gets you out of your jam. Any survivor you talk to is gonna tell you, oh, it was this one lady, she said this, or it was this one person, they just didn't let up, or it was this, that's always going to be the story. So the number one way is to have a positive adult image. The reason why I'm showing y'all this is because we are all adults. And if anybody had taken the time to just tell us this little bit of information, we would have been looking at the nigga love bombing us like he was out of his fucking mind, because he is. We would have been looking at the nigga ready to marry us after 2 months like something is fucking wrong, because it is, okay? So what that looks like, going back to we would have been able to identify the things, this is what the cycle of abuse is. This is the cycle. It starts as a fantasy. Yep. It's love bombing. It's he's perfect, she's perfect. It's him sitting back and him or her sitting back and listening to every fucking thing you have to say about your life, because you're so fucking happy that you met this kind of person finally that you want to let him know every fucking thing about you. So you give him every single piece to your story, and what he does with it, he sets your ass up. He put it in a booklet and he say, you know what? The setup is this. It'll be something like, he said and he listened to your values and your morals. He know what your values and morals are. He'll ask you something that goes against those things. He'll say for instance, if y'all church going women, he's gonna ask you to do something illegal. He's gonna ask you to do something that goes against your core values to see if you love him that much, to go against the shit that you just told him means so fucking much to you. And the moment you do it, the abuse will follow immediately after that. There is no break in time. It is immediately after that, because he is very clear now that he got you exactly where he needs you to be. So once that abuse happens, now he says, I never meant to hurt you. My mama used to do this to me, and I'm just so sorry. And it's the guilt phase. He's using those values and morals, and all that shit you told him, he's using it to trick you into reverse psychology in your damn self. And then it says he'll get you to the point where he's saying stuff like, well, remember your mama, she said you weren't shit anyway, right? That's why your sister don't fuck with you. Exactly. That's why your sister don't fuck with you, bro. Like,
that's
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
it right there. Isolate you.
That's it right there. Absolutely. And so, in the planning phase is where he'll do the isolation. As he's getting to know you, he's knocking down the motherfucking dominoes, baby. He knocking them. You talked about your best friend how many times this week? I'm finna knock that bitch out your life quick. She got to go. That's your support.
You cannot
She
have
got to
nobody
go.
around you.
Okay? And then it goes back to normal. Just a regular phase, you know. Just whatever that normal is. Normal is in parentheses because it's whatever normal is for you. What does that normal look like within your relationship? That's the wheel. At the normal, back to the fantasy. Back to the planet, and it's just gonna go over and over and over and over. So you feel like you're on a fucking hamster wheel because you are, okay?
Damn, I like that. That was just that meant a
Now,
lot. Letting them in, telling them everything, then they use it against you.
Yep.
Like,
so I pulled up the gender inclusive power control wheel simply because obviously some of us are in the LGBT community. I am a member. I don't know what fucking letter I am, but I'm one of them. Maybe the one that ain't made up yet, but I'm a part of it. I ain't fucked up about it. Okay. Now, again, I don't know if y'all can see these things. Physical and sexual assault or threats. Wait, let me go to it. Yeah, okay. Gender inclusive power and control wheel. Physical and sexual assault or threats to commit them, often linked to the other abusive behaviors. Although physical assault may occur, fuck all that. I'm gonna get to this wheel because I feel like y'all probably never even seen this wheel. I need that. I'm sure.
Y'all want me to turn the light off a little bit?
no, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Cut it off.
Yeah, turn the light.
You said no, yeah. I got
Right. I'm like, which one?
So power and control. When we talking about domestic violence, remember when we determined what domestic violence was? It was somebody using power against another person within a family, a relationship, etc. Okay, this is what that power and control will look like. So you can go either way. Where do y'all want to start first?
Intimidation.
Okay, intimidation.
Huh?
Yeah.
Intimidation. We gonna start at intimidation. All right, intimidation. I'm gonna make it just bigger so I
That's
can
real.
see just intimidation. Okay. That's making a partner afraid by using threats, looks, and gestures, destroying the partner's property, abusing pets, wielding weapons, or kitchen implements. So what that is intimidation can look like all those things they just named. It can look like it can look almost, it can be silent. It can be him sitting there staring at you while you talking to the clerk at the grocery store. You know what I mean? It can look like let me see a good example of stories I heard with y'all. One of y'all stories had intimidation and basically all y'all did. But more so, who was that put the gun to her neck? You. That's a threat and intimidation. You know what I mean? So it looks whatever, again, we going back to that parentheses of normal. Whatever your normal is within your DV situation, that's what that intimidation is gonna look like. You know what I mean? Emotional, and a lot of these things you damn near not even gonna realize it's abuse. To be honest, a lot of it seems like it's very normal behavior, but it's like, damn, okay.
Well, our family made it normal, or somebody tried to make it normal for us.
Yeah, like you don't even really, it feel normal to you. Like the doing it in itself is like, whoa, what? So emotional abuse, putting her down, making her feel bad about herself, calling her names, making her think she's crazy, playing mind games, humiliating her, making her feel guilty. And I'm sorry that this says her so many times, because men also get abused.
That's
Don't
true.
get it twisted. Y'all little teenage sons, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna say 7 times out of 10, is out here getting harassed as hell by one of these little girls out in these streets. That when he don't answer that phone, she's very mad, and he has to deal with that conversation. That's fucking abuse. Nothing normal about someone forcing you to answer your cell phone. That is your phone. Forcing you to reply to text messages, etc. Okay? So that's the emotional abuse. More isolation, controlling what she does. A lot of y'all mentioned that. Who she sees and talks to, what she reads, where she goes, limiting her outside involvement, using jealousy to justify actions. Martice used to tell me, first of all, he was fucking poor, so I had to do all the work to pay the bills, and my rent was $2,100, and that's just fucking rent. So all of the other things I had to pay. It was like I had to work 2 jobs. I was a house mom at the strip club, so obviously I'm gonna work all fucking night and leave and go to work all fucking day. And this nigga telling me he fucking the neighbor, and you don't even got half of the rent, bro. Like, hold the fuck up. So doing all of that, it was like this is all of the whole. You just like, what the hell? No. That was his emotional abuse to me, and then it was also his financial abuse to me. But it was also him kind of like making me feel like I wasn't enough, or I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, or I wasn't holding my weight in a relationship, you know. And then also using my job to say that I was cheating on him and stuff, so that he could come to my job and cause problems and make me lose my job. So that's another form of the financial part of it, where he's you're not helping me with the bills, but you're also trying to make me lose my fucking job, so I can't even pay my own goddamn bills. Like, you know, minimizing, denying, and blaming, making light of the abuse, and not taking her concerns about it seriously. To me, this can be that person who's abusing you. This can be your friends, your family, anybody you like comfortable enough talking to this about. You know how people be like, girl, that ain't that bad. Well, at least he ain't. At least he ain't. At least he ain't. Girl, my daddy used to, at least he ain't. And ain't no such thing as at least he ain't. Ain't no at least he ain't. You getting your ass whooped and I'm getting financially abused. Both of us are not in a good situation. Point blank period. Shifting responsibility, saying the abuse didn't happen. How many of y'all literally set y'all ass in that man's face while he told you that shit didn't happen, and you know goddamn well it happened, and you still sat there and had to convince yourself that it actually happened?
And it just happened. I ain't slap you.
Man,
You sure did.
You was just trying to rub my face. I smacked it on there too hard.
like, you know, so we know it happened.
What happened and how it happened, but try to make a story of it.
Absolutely. So using children, y'all said that too. Making her feel guilty about the children, using the children to relay messages, using visitation to harass her, threatening to take the children away. My most important point about this is the using visitation to harass her. The most fucked up part about a DV victim, survivor, whatever you want to call it, is
Nikita should have been in here
you
for
are
that.
going to get blamed. You are going to get blamed. That man is going to tell those kids it was your fault. Them kids gonna be looking at you crazy half the time. Sometimes they not. It really just depends on what type of kid you have. Cause baby, these kids be on one just as well as their parents do. But you can get into the system. The system is absolutely going to have you dealing with your abuser. If y'all go into the system, which one of y'all said that? Somebody told y'all that you shouldn't go that way because some other stuff is gonna happen. If you leave that man and y'all go into that court system, that judge is not trained on trauma-informed care. He is going to tell you he don't give a damn about none of that. That man gonna see them kids and you gonna take them to him, or you gonna have somebody else do it. But he's still going to have access to your children, even after he whooped your ass left through and under, up around them. The judge don't give a damn about that. They care about the parent having access to their child. So I'm saying that to say this is one of those things that using children, this is where it gets kind of murky when you're a victim and you're trying to get out of the situation. It's when you ain't got a child with them, that's a different ball game. But when you have children with an abuser and this person is really, really abusive to the point where they actually playing them games with the court system, and you know, some of them fall back after that. They be like, fuck you and them kids. Like, and they just go harass the next bitch, you know. But for the most part, those guys are going to press your buttons with that system, and the system is working for them, not you. I do want you to know that. Do not get it twisted. Do not feel like you're going to be safe, and no. They gonna put your ass in harm's way. It is up to you to have a safety plan. It is up to you to have a support system where you are safe. You have to protect yourself in these DV situations. The law has not caught up to humanity, okay? So please don't. And did you get a restraining order? He got to be served a restraining order. If they give him a restraining order and the man is not served the restraining order, what he doing is still not goddamn illegal. He ain't been served the paperwork.
Something that make them madder. They're gonna make you even madder.
And it's a piece of paper. And what you also, what she said, they told her it was civil. A lot of this shit is civil. A lot of DV is civil. It's not, a lot of it ain't criminal. If you are not proving that this man that put his hands on you and them police then arrested his ass and he went to jail, it is not a fucking criminal case. It is a civil case. You will be in family court getting the DV. You will be in family. You would not. It is not a criminal case. That man held me at gunpoint for 5 hours, and I drove his ass to the police station, and he still did not get arrested. Still did not get arrested. And it took them 6 months to give his ass a restraining order, and he still ain't been served. So when I call and say, hey, he's still calling me, they say, well, all we can do is call him and ask him to stop.
That's Chicago?
This Chicago. DuPage is far.
He from Chicago?
He's from here.
Oh, okay.
DuPage is ahead of the game when it comes to domestic violence. DuPage don't fuck around. They have,
Cause where I live, the person don't even have to be there.
baby, DuPage don't fucking play around.
I
DuPage
live
is
in
school
Kendall
systems.
County, and the same guy that I was telling you about, the church guy, I went there and they gave me a order of protection without him even being there.
Yeah, they don't.
My bad too. Then you back on what she said. My auntie was going through domestic violence with her. This guy was stalking her. He went to go get the restraining
Girl.
order. We was on the Zoom. I was on Zoom with her on a Friday. He killed her Monday morning in front of her kids. And he got the restraining order. The judge gave it to him because he filed for the paperwork first.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
2
y'all,
years
this
ago.
is eyewitness proof as to what I'm telling y'all. Y'all wonder why they don't leave. It ain't no fucking walk in the park. Leaving is the beginning of some shit you ain't never even seen before. Leaving is the beginning of you advocating for yourself in a way you didn't even know you knew how. This leaving is the beginning of you learning yourself in a way that you never even knew. To me, I honestly feel like it's worth it because again, you meet yourself on the other side of something. And it's a brand new you. And sometimes it's a good brand new you, and sometimes this shit really take a toll on people. Everybody not strong. Everybody not gonna be the same. This shit change people's life. You know what I mean? They don't love the same. They don't leave their house. They don't. I went through it. This shit just was. I need 6 months out. I don't even know how long I'm out. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a different breed though. Like a person that would have went through what I went through living in Las Vegas, I was already away from my whole family. I lost every fucking thing. Everything. Come back home. My mama put me out of her house 10 hours after being there, so now I'm fucking homeless. Never in my goddamn life been homeless. And my family not poor. So there's no reason for me to be out here in these streets and not have nothing that I need. So then it looks like, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna go back to him. Then it looks like being in a fucking car at gunpoint for 5 hours. And taking his ass to the police station and then fighting it with the judge for 5 months, 6 months, and all of these. It looks like all of that. It looked like going to the shelter. I've never been in no fucking shelter other than feed somebody. That's the only thing I ever went to the shelter for, literally, several times. Living in the shelter. I never did that. I cried every fucking day I'm talking about. I'm talking about I was in the shelter in Joliet, I would walk to the fucking river. And I would just sit there and cry for hours and hours and fucking hours. I would go to court and leave court and cry for fucking hours. I would go to the police station because now I'm trying to deal with COPA and put a case on the police because why the fuck didn't y'all arrest him? Like, what is going on? Trying to hold people accountable. Then I gotta go tell on the judge because she letting him come into the Zoom call and not turn his camera on. You got me in this courtroom for a restraining order from this man stalking me, and you letting him stalk me in your fucking courtroom, and you telling me that I can't talk because I'm not a lawyer, bitch. Is you serious right now? And then you screaming at me at the top of your lungs, so you gonna abuse me in your courtroom as I'm sitting here for somebody else abusing me, and you gonna let this nigga sit on this call and watch me. And my lawyer sitting there quiet as a goddamn church mouse. So now I gotta email him and tell him, if you do that shit again, you will not be at my next court date. You supposed to advocate for me. You sitting there like you fucking scared to talk. Like, I don't give a damn what she say. You know, you could have at least said, you right, judge, can you allow this person to cut their camera on?
So he had his camera off the whole time?
Camera off. Marty's iPhone, clear as fucking day. Clear as fucking day. I'm on there screaming, crying, like hyperventilating. This is so, I'm still so deep in it. I'm still having the physiological responses. I'm having my panic attacks. And I do have complex PTSD from this situation. But, like, I'm having my panic attacks and everything every fucking court date. And this bitch still did that. I was like, yeah, so... To be honest, y'all, I just got in this field when I got out of my situation. I decided that I was gonna say, remember I said fuck the field I was in? I'm sorry for cursing so much. I said I was gonna get out of food service, get out of retail management, food service management, and I'm going deep into this because now I understand. At first, I was on the outside looking in. I didn't know why my mama stayed with my daddy. I could vividly remember him raping her. I can hear it still to this day. Stop, Troy, no, no, no. And I can see his ass walking out that room and looking at me on the couch, not hiding, not bad, not nothing, to leave out the goddamn door. So I know how I got to being in a situation with this kind of man. I know how I got there. I know what I went through with my parents, with my mother, and her life, and her being abused as a child. And our shit go back to her being a kid. You know what I'm saying? So I know how I was susceptible to it. So, okay, let's go. We're going back to it. We get the using children. We looking at using male privilege, treating her like a servant, making all the big decisions, acting like the master of the castle, being the one to define the men's and women's roles. So y'all know what that look like. Who is that? Where you going? What you supposed to be doing? Why you going? You too. Who is that? You know, why you talking to them and all of those kind of things. That's what that look like. And then also him saying, in this household, you gonna clean every motherfucking thing, and I'm gonna pay or whatever. Just defining roles where you do not agree. You do not agree that you want to be the person to clean the house all the time, but he's making you do that. Economic abuse, preventing her from getting or keeping a job, making her ask for money, giving her an allowance, taking her money, not letting her know about or have access to family income. That is economic abuse. That looks like you giving him your money for the rent and him never paying the rent, and you look up and y'all got a fucking eviction notice. I'm gonna also tell y'all, anything on this list, if you experience any of this, you can call any of those domestic violence phone numbers and get resources, period.
And get what?
Resources.
Okay.
Anything on this list, if any of this happens to you, you can contact the domestic violence center, facility, the hotline, whatever you find, and you can say, I'm experiencing this and I need help. And they're gonna give you the tools you need to help you get out of that situation. Coercion and threats. To me, this is the most, I would say to me, again, your own normal. To me, this is the most common, the coercion and threats. If you leave me, I'ma kill myself. You know,
That too. They say that.
yeah, you know.
Are they gonna kill you?
Yo, that part, bitch. You try to, I'm kill you. Or if you call the police, I'ma take the kids. Or so. And remember, all of these can be used interchangeably. So he can be intimidating you at the same time, economically abusing you, coercing you, and using your children against you. He can be doing all of these at the same exact time.
Covert operation.
So that's power and control, just so y'all know. This is, what this wheel is, the best way I can say this wheel is the visual representation of the definition of domestic violence, okay? And how you get in these positions is what? Trauma, right? And it starts when we in our mama's stomach, right? Okay. Now, our next thing is gonna be this. I want y'all to read these right quick. Can y'all read it? Everybody ain't lying to me. I'm pretty sure y'all can.
You mean read?
Yeah, go ahead.
Dress good when you're out of the house. Doesn't matter.
Actually, everybody read one for me. And read it like you saying it to your mate. And you mean this shit.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Dress good when you walk out this house now. Don't matter where you're going.
You want me to read? I'm about to say I can't see that. Okay, FYI. No checking out guys or girls or flirting. Yeah. No going out anywhere if any guys is going to be there or be around.
Guy or girl, interchangeable, y'all.
Guys is gonna be around?
No, there's no mom.
What?
No mom.
Well,
Number 9, under guy. Right there.
no mom.
Can't go to the mall. Too many people in the mall. Too many people out
At this
there.
point,
So the fuck? Maria?
No problem. That became, the gym won't be open Thursday anyway. Yeah, you can't wear that at the gym.
You can't go to the gym, you can't go to football practice, basketball practice. Okay, we got some more rules. No long chats with guys at school or girls at school if it's a boy, okay?
No talking about our relationship.
somebody always think of me.
Always think of me. Don't stop loving me. Y'all wanna know what this list is? A kid brought this shit to a group one day. A child, a teenager. This is what their boyfriend gave them.
Wow.
Oh, so he started young.
I wanna show y'all that so that what I showed y'all about them ages and how it affects them, so this shit can stick. So y'all can look out for those kids in y'all life, the kids in y'all neighborhood, the kids around y'all. This the kind of shit they dealing with. This kind of shit you dealing with too. How many of y'all heard this shit before? How many of y'all had someone tell you one of these things?
Just the other day, I was gonna go to the gym and said, nah, you can't go to the gym by
Did I
yourself
say
no
if
more.
any guy looks at
Everybody
you,
looking.
smack him?
Yes.
Any guy touches you.
Yeah.
But you said,
Y'all see that though, right? Y'all, okay? That's how they come. Like, so it ain't just about what we experience as I said, you know, as grown ups. These kids out here dealing with the same shit we dealing with, and we don't know what the fuck to do. So what do y'all think they need to know to do? Right? Now, okay, that's all the slides I got for y'all, but I do wanna get more into. Nice to meet you. Thanks for sharing.